Yeah, there has been a lot of attention on 5G. Everybody talks about 5G. I get a sense there is a lot of PowerPoint in there, and there is a lot of the marketing effort to pack everything that is new under the 5G label. And I think that in a way that doesn't do a good service to the amount of innovation that is going on. It's more than capacity and low latency. There is a lot of work that's being done in parallel along multiple lines, and I think that that's quite exciting. A lot of it is really in the long term. So I'm a little bit skeptical about some of the trials that are being announced, some of the short-term initiatives. It's not entirely clear what they're trying to do, but when I do talk to vendors, when I do talk to operators, they really like the idea of 5G for sure, but they're much more pressed to solve concerns and needs that they have today. One of them that it's really coming to the fore, it's QoE. And QoE, obviously operators always wanted to make their subscribers happy, so there's nothing new there. But they're becoming more and more aware of the complexity of making those subscribers happy. In a voice environment, it's easy. If you have a call, the call quality is good, that's easy, that's all you need to do. Not easy, but it's easier to track it. When you have multiple data applications, what makes a subscriber happy is difficult to capture, changes depending on where you are, changes depending on what device you have, what are you doing video, streaming video, conversational video, voice over the top voice, VoIP or VoLTE. So there is all sorts of different the perception changes from the subscriber point of view, and from an operator point of view to try to adapt that, it's a real challenge. And I just finished a report on that, and it's really interesting to see how that changes the way the operator optimizes the network. And this is something that there is a lot to be done, a lot of capabilities that the operators have to increase the value that they extract for the existing infrastructure. So the first, the first thing you want to do is to make sure you use whatever infrastructure you have in the most effective way. And then obviously you want to increase the capacity moving forward, absolutely, but what you want to do today, increase the value of, you squeeze out of the assets you have. Oh yeah, well there is a lot of innovation from, I would say that every vendor I talk to, they just constantly talk about QoE. I mean, that everybody is in the optimization, optimization, testing, and monitoring, because it's all coming together, and policy as well. I think that the focus on QoE gives the operators a way to put together the marketing, the policy, the services part with the optimization of the network together. And it's important that they are together, because in a network you are resource constrained. There's just so much capacity that you have. So you want to use it in a way that maximizes the potential for revenue and the potential for subscriber satisfaction. So on one end you need to tie into the marketing, service offerings, and policy, and on the other hand, things like RAN optimization and core optimization. And so the two are coming together, and it's a big cultural shift, because traditionally in the operators organization you have the two units that are separate. They don't talk much to each other, and they have to start talking to each other, and so that makes the operator work in a very different perspective. So the operator is not trying to push as much bits through their channels. They're trying to choose the bits that they're sending. So obviously you want to send as many as you want in general. You don't want to reduce capacity, but you want to be careful about how you use that capacity. And other things like latency are becoming important. I was listening to the Telefonica CTO the other day, and one thing that he said, it was, I think, very refreshing, was that it's not just it's not about throughput. latency is just as important, if not more important, for some applications. So you might have, you know, no matter how many megabits per second on your phone, but if the latency is too high, your video experience sucks. So there is many more dimensions in the data that we need to take care of, and how they interact with each other. So there is a lot of opportunity, but there is a lot of work and a lot of learning to do.